fork off. A bourbon steward. It takes me a minute to get some words sometimes. Oh, that's puke. Ugh. Ripping his clothes and gnashing his teeth. Corn whiskey. I still haven't found my first Blanton's. And hello, here we are. It is late, and I apologize. We are normally here 2.5 hours sooner than we are here tonight. Hopefully this works out nice for those of you on the West Coast. I mentioned in the post earlier that that we had some pretty raucous storms go through last night. I mean, there were tornadoes. I think the county just west of us had like 3 tornadoes touch down. I think we had one touchdown maybe, it'd probably be about 12 miles from me in the southeastern part of the county. I had to shut down a highway today to get all the debris off the road. So it was quite a night. 75-mile-per-hour winds. Holy Toledo. Anyway, so we're here. I was thinking I would wait until tomorrow night because I had some software issues as well. I thought, this is just not going to work. Well, the show must go on. So we're going to have the show go on. I got stuff going on tomorrow night. I wasn't going to be able to be here. I got stuff going on Saturday. I won't be able to be here. So tonight, it is. Let's do this. All right, so this is the Early Times Bottled and Bond. I had been looking for this for a while. I had found the regular one, which I think is 80 proof. It might be 86. I don't remember. I might have finished it. It may not even be back there anymore, but I had it, and we did a Bourbcast on it a while ago, but I've never seen this one. Now, this doesn't have a cork. This has a screw cap. This is a liter bottle. It is the only way that the Bottle and Bond is available, is using the liter bottle. Might as well leave the cork, or the cap off. Let me get you into some of this stuff while it sits. Early Times Bottled and Bond, one of those labels that hasn't been easy to find. It's a 1 liter size, sells for $25.49. That's 33% more than a 750 or a fifth. And it's only $25.49 in the state of Ohio. That's quite a bargain for a 100 proof whiskey. Bottled and Bond, 100 proof. Most Bottled and Bonds are. While there's no age statement on this particular bottle, you know it has to be at least 4 years because that's the regulations. That's the law. If you want to call it Bottled and Bond, it has to be at least 100 proof, and it has to be at least 4 years. It can be a higher proof, and it can be a higher age statement. But if you want to be called Bottled and Bond, there are some standards, and we just hit those. Early Times was created by John Henry Jack Beam, son of David Beam, Jim Beam's brother. Jack left his father's distillery in 1860 at the age of 21 and built his own distillery near Bardstown, Kentucky. Started distilling Early Times there. Jack, the son who left, passed away in 1915 at the age of 75, and when he died, so did the business. His distillery ceased operations when he passed away. That was in 1915. Now, 8 years later, Owsley Brown, one of the best names in history. I love that, Owsley Brown. That's a great name. Owner of Brown-Forman, acquired Early Times in 1923, and in 1945 launched Early Times Bottled and Bond. It did really well. For a while, it became the most popular bourbon in the USA. And that was 1953. When Brown-Forman constructed a new distillery located in Shively, Kentucky in 1955, the distillery was originally named after Early Times before it became Brown-Forman. Unfortunately, during the difficult times endured by the industry in the 1970s and 1980s, the Early Times brand changed from bourbon to blended whiskey, leaving the Bottle and Bond label behind, and that was that. Old-style Kentucky whiskey was born, which was a blend of straight and light whiskey being corn whiskey. According to the company website, DSP number 354, where Early Times is made, is the longest continually operating distillery under the same ownership in Kentucky. There's always something. We're the longest because of this. We're the longest because of this. In this case, it's the same ownership. Early Times brand itself one of the longest running labels in bourbon, now celebrating 163 years according to the company. 2020, Brown-Forman sold Early Times to Sazerac, the people who own Buffalo Trace, in a purchase that also included Canadian Mist, Collingwood brands, and the Canadian Mist production assets. In 2021, Sazerac announced that the production would take place at their Barton 1792 distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, and that the original recipe and mash bill would continue to be used. The mash bill on this is pretty approachable, really. It's 79% corn, 11% rye, 10% malted barley. Lowish rye, a little higher on the malted barley side. But again, this is just one I've been dying to try. So let's get that done. And then the one I'm going to do next week is just one of those moments where I cannot believe I've never reviewed this particular bottle. What? Especially when you find out when and why, and you'll find out. It's nuts. There's no reason why I shouldn't have reviewed this particular bourbon before, and that's coming up. We'll do that in a minute. All right. Early Times Bottled and Bond, again, only available as a liter and only $25 in the state of Ohio. It's going to range. Wow. Okay, so the cinnamons came out just cracking. Crack-a-lacking. Wow. Little ethanol. Got a little bit of an astringency on there. Fresh crack. Neck pour is not going to be at its best in this particular setting. Once it sits there a minute, it'll be better. Yeah, the cinnamon's what's really popping. Some vanillas too, but the cinnamons are jumping. I'm getting some clove. Maybe a hint of tobacco. Now that I'm getting into it a little bit. That clove could be tobacco, that tobacco could be clove. It could be the same thing. Could be, but the both. I don't, yeah. Little raisin in there. And black pepper. All right, let's give it a try. Nice bloom. Perfect. That is a perfect bloom. It crept up the tongue. It moved around a little bit. It intensified over the time it was on my palate. Oh my goodness, that was wonderful. Just wonderful. Maybe a little warm for 100 proof. Just a slight bit hot, which is interesting considering the low rye. The 11% rye is not beating up on me. That bloom was perfect. Mouthfeel, very, it's got a nice viscosity to it. I hate that word. I shouldn't use that word. But it just describes it so well. I'm going to make this one, let's call it silky. We'll call it, boy. Because there's silky, and then there's buttery, and there's creamy, and it's none of those. Silky's probably about the best. Yeah, it's not quite silky. It's just under silky. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Okay, second run on the palate doesn't bite near as hard. One of the notes I got actually was butter. I love that note. Oh, there's a, duh. I had it. I knew what I wanted to say, and now it's gone. But butter was definitely there. Cinnamon is there. There was something else, something on the sweet side. The first thing that came to my mind is some sort of a cream, like a creme brulee. But I say that enough that I don't like saying creme brulee anymore. It's more like, it'd be the same thing. It's like a custard. There's just a slight bit. It's not a lot. It's not a super sweet pour. Matter of fact, it's got a little bit of an earthy side to it. I'm not going to go so far as to tell you that it's like grassy or anything like that. It's not. Ian's watching. How are you, sir? Welcome. Welcome to the big show. Sorry we're late, but I'm glad you're here nonetheless. All right. Okay, I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to tell you that this mouthfeel is creamy. I was thinking it was a little bit below silky, not quite buttery. It's creamy, and that custardy type of taste that's in there is very, very minute, but it's enough to make me want to change the way it feels in my mouth to something creamy. Cinnamons are still there. Vanillas are to me higher on the palate than they were on the nose, whereas the cinnamons are lower on the palate than they were on the nose. Maybe that's why I'm getting more of a creme brulee type of action on this. It's not entirely sweet. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a creme brulee sweet. It's definitely not marshmallow sweet. But there's a sweet side to this that if you give it a minute, it'll show itself. Let's do a little more. This is a liter bottle. It's 33% more than the 750, so I have a little bit extra to play with. Went and cut up that wood. My gosh, everything on me just hurts. My back is killing me. My legs are sore. My shoulders are sore. Because not only do you cut the wood up, you got to load it, right? You got to throw it into the wagon. And we got more to do. We left the big tree there. We actually got there. The tree was already down because of last night's storm. We cut off all the limbs and all the little pieces, and we got all that gathered up. And it's a big oak tree, not a huge oak tree, but a decent sized oak tree. And then while we were there, we noticed that, and it was a white oak, so I kind of felt bad cutting it up, but it was not going to make a barrel. Behind that was a red oak that was standing dead, that needed to come down, or it was going to come down in the next windstorm. So we took that down too. So now we have two trees that we're cutting up. The red oak, we got that completely loaded. It was a smaller tree. It was tall, but it was a little bit smaller, so we got that cut up and loaded. The white oak, that trunk that's big around. That's bigger around than I am. That's twice as big around as I am. It was a big tree. And that meant it was heavy, because it's still wet. It's still a green tree, right? It was alive yesterday. So it's a heavy tree. It was a lot of work. I recruited a friend of mine, and we got it done pretty quickly, but I'm feeling it now, and I'm going to feel it in the morning for sure. So the malted barley is almost the same percentage as the rye. The rye is 11, the malted barley is 10. The malted barley is bringing forth that granola, that nutty side of things. It can bring out a fruit side too, but right now what I'm getting more of is like a nuttiness. There's a little hazelnut in that, which again can contribute to that whole creme brulee thing. I love creme brulee, so I like it when my bourbon tastes like creme brulee and reminds me of creme brulee. If you've never had creme brulee, you're missing out. You should do that. You probably have to go to an upper end restaurant unless you want to make it yourself. To make it yourself and do it well, you have to have tools. You have to be able to caramelize the top of it. This is not a cooking show. Sorry. All right. Trish is watching. Hey Trish, how are you? All right. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna put well, let's just do it. I think I've gotten all the notes that I can get out of it neat. So we'll add a little wah-wah to it. Just 2 drops. That's enough. Then we'll swish it around. So Wicked came out in the movies, right? And I think it did pretty well. I really didn't pay attention to it. I've seen it 3 times, twice on Broadway, and it's an amazing show. It's a really, really, really amazing show. Once in Columbus, but twice on Broadway. And the last time was actually the greatest one. It was really, really good. But they made a movie out of it, and now it's on Peacock. Well, I've been watching some other content on Peacock, and my daughter's account. I'm not going to pay NBC for anything, but so I go on there and I watch different types of programming on there. Well, it really wants you to watch Wicked. And the advertisements for Wicked are freaking everywhere. So, and I love Wicked. So, and I think that one of the stars is Ariana Grande, like a latte, Grande. I don't know. Anyway, she's got probably one of the best voices in pop music these days. Strong pipes. I love a good strong voice, right? There's a difference between like a little shoestring voice and a good strong voice, and Ariana, whatever the hell her last name is, has a really strong voice. So if for nothing else, I would like to watch it just because the Galinda from the Broadway shows always had such a, well, Kristen Chenoweth, who played in the original cast, Galinda, had more of a, she had a great voice, but it was a little more mousy. Whereas Ariana Grande she got pipes, man. The girl can sing. So I'm kind of interested in what she does with it. Oh, Trisha's waving. All right. Okay. That was a big sip. But here's what I got off of that. Adding water to it took away any of its edge. Now, its edge had already started to wane anyhow. It's like you get that first big burn when that bloom first happens, and in the second dram, you don't get it again. Well, it definitely didn't come back with water this time. Let's see if I can give you some flavor notes here. Hasn't really changed much. Some of the body of it's gone. It's still there. It's just not as there. And I'm going to say some cinnamon popped back out again, whereas the vanilla had taken over. Getting a little bit of that cinnamon back, a little bit of that oak. That was the missing. That's what I was missing from the start. The oak was present nicely on the neat, but I'm getting a little bit more with water on it. Just a slight bit more. That oak is a little bit more present, and it's a nice, beautiful, sweet oak. I wouldn't call it a smoky oak. It's more like a nice, sweet oak. That's actually very nice. I rather like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that water really brings out that oak. That's pretty nice. All right, so, and coming up, I'm going to tell you what we're doing next week, and it's going to blow you away. You're going to be amazed that we've never reviewed it. I can't believe I haven't reviewed it. But I bet there's somebody that could say that about just about everything that I review, because it's going to be new to somebody, and it's going to be old hat to somebody else. Unless it's like the new stuff, like some of the Maker's Mark that makes its way around, and the 1924 from Old Forester, which is relatively new, which I haven't found yet. There's going to be some of those things that are going to seem new to me and not to you. And there's going to be some things that are going to be not new to me and they're going to be new to you. I'm a little out of breath on that one. All right. I'm actually going to pour this in here. I don't normally do that because I've added drops of water, but it's ice. I don't think it's going to hurt it any. And we are going to supplement it with a little bit more. There we go. A nice, gorgeous ice sphere. Fresh out of the mold. No cheating this time. We're giving you the full deal here. And yes, we're giving you the finger stir. So pull out your bingo cards. Which I have yet to make. I will do it eventually. I promise. Sometime in April, we're going to be visiting a distillery. And we're going to make a Bourbcast out of it. So I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but it is going to be during the month of April. So if next week's pour is the one that we do the distillery, then I'll just move what we're going to do next week to the next week. I don't have any I'm not doing like a series right now. So, all right. Whoops. Little spillage. Little drippy. All right. Whoops. That oak is really on the ice. The cinnamon is there too, but I'm actually getting some salted caramel. So a lot of these flavors from neat to ice have some similarities. Creme brulee is going to bring you vanilla, and it's going to bring you cream, and it's going to bring you brown sugar perhaps, and it's going to bring you, you could use smoke on it. I've had a smoked creme brulee before. It's really freaking stupid good. Cinnamon. I mean, there's all these different flavors that kind of have something in common. So this, I am christening it, la la la, la la la. This is the creme brulee of bourbon. It's not, but still, it's fun. The oak is out. The oak is really nice on the ice. At the end of the day, if you need it to cut through for a cocktail, you certainly can. It'll cut through, maybe not super well, not like a nice rye, but it'll cut through. How dare you spill it? I know, I'm so careless. I actually didn't. No drops hit the table. It just hit my finger, which I can take care of like this. Yeah. No waste. None. Okay? All right. All right. Yeah, this is a great pour. I'm glad I found it. Is it going to go up to my top 5? No. But I like it, and I'm glad I found it, and this is one, I actually found 2 of them, so I don't have to take my time with it, but I'm gonna. There may be some people who want to try this, and I'd like to save some for them, and you know, now that it's going to find itself maybe a little more plentiful, I hope, fingers crossed, I'll be able to pick it up more often, and I won't have to hoard it. So it's good. It's good. I like it. I don't love it. I like it. And those creamy notes to it really are very satisfying in a certain way. More satisfying neat than on ice, of course, and on water, of course, to me, which is not anything new. But I do like this one. Don't love it. The finish on it is a little more oaky, a little more earthy. There's no sweetness on the finish at all, which is fine. Yeah, but you got to understand, for the last week or so, I've been playing, well, the last 2 weeks or so, I've been playing around with a bottle of Buffalo Trace. And I don't know of a sweeter bourbon out there than Buffalo Trace, unless you get into the Tennessee whiskeys. Buffalo is a sweet one. And anything next to Buffalo is going to seem earthy. It's just the way it is. Okay, so anyway, next week, providing we're not going to the distillery, we'll see how that goes. I cannot believe, but anyhow, when I got into bourbon in I've been into bourbon for a while. Let's see, I made a movie in Kalamazoo in 2017, and I was into bourbon. So let's say 2015, I started getting back into bourbon again, And then 2016 and 17, I refined the palate, and there was one bottle that I went to over and over and over again. I loved it. It was the bourbon for me. I didn't try anything else until like 2019. I really got into bourbons in 2019. Then COVID came along in 2020, and then I just kind of went crazy. Like a lot of us did. Come on. But this one, Woodford Reserve. This was my go-to bottle for years. I didn't want anything else. I knew what this tastes like. I like what this tastes like. The proof point on this is 90.4, so it's very approachable even to people who aren't used to drinking a lot of bourbon. And even back then, I would drink this and I would drink it neat. It's been just kind of a thing. I've always drank it neat. But Woodford Reserve, again, this was just my go-to. Nothing could come close to this at any point. I'd go to this event and this event and this event, and if they didn't have Woodford, I didn't drink bourbon. I drank something else. Well, of course, that changed. But I've never reviewed this for Beautiful Bourbon. And as a matter of fact, I had a bottle of this. I had a little 375, which is half the size of this. I just wanted some Woodford again, and I got into it. I realized how much I really still enjoy this. I thought, well, shoot. I was at the store yesterday and thought, I got to pick some up. And then as I looked at it, it's like, I really ought to talk to you about it. So, this is what we're doing next week. If we're not going to the distillery. It's only 100 proof. It didn't do that to me. I'm just having trouble talking because I'm tired. And I've had alcohol. And I haven't eaten since like noon. So that's coming too. Yes, it is. Mere moments away. So, all right, that's all I got. Howdy. Tom, you're getting here just as I'm saying goodbye. So I'm glad you're here, but I'm going to wrap it up. We'll see you next week with Woodford Reserve or the distillery, whatever. That's coming up next week. We'll see you then, and thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. You could be doing anything else, and you're here with me, and that matters. Thank you.